After before we get started. Hello, 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 boom, boom, boom. Now, this little dude came out a little while ago because Big couldn't find his money hammer and he's just kind of stuck around. But I think the chicken's getting a little fried, to be honest, my man. I think we've got to do away with this guy.
Oh.
So good evening, and welcome to the Pit Lane Power Hour. 60 minutes of supercharged, high octane, fun, education, motivation, inspiration, where me, Rich Green, the KC, the keyboard capitalist, and my man over the pond in New York, Big Lloyd Dotson, are going to walk you through a system that's been set up for you to win. Well, actually, it's been set up for us to win, and we've been kind enough to set it up so it can be shared with all of you guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So what we're going to do over the course of the next hour is we're going to show you a little bit about what it's all about. We're going to give hints, tips, teasers about winning online success, and I suppose mini training to a certain extent, whether you're with us or not. So there's going to be packed full of value for you over the course of the next 60 minutes, and we're going to bring out a special guest. We've got our man David Pinto on as well. So first of all, I'm going to bring out Lloyd Big just to introduce himself, and then we'll have a quick hello from David before we get stuck in to the crux of it. So Lloyd Big, how we doing, buddy?
So Rich, you finally choked the chicken enough that it died, huh?
You know what? It's done. It's over. It's over.
It just can't take the pounding like the actual money hammer. We do want to thank all of you. Now, if you're watching this for the first time and you're going, what the hell is going on with these two guys? You got this English dude here with the doff cap, and he's basically pounding a chicken. And you got the other guy across the pond, as he says, with a beanie on, basically slamming down, a toy plastic hammer. We tell you, we actually are successful business owners. Really.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Who'd have thunk?
Truly.
Who'd have thunk it?
In fact, both of us have been able to take the system that we're going to introduce you to tonight in a very short time, go from a standing start to over 6 figures. I went from 0 to over 135,000 in less than 9 months. My man Rich was able to do from 0 to over 100,000 in a little bit over 10, almost 11 months. And we did it with the system and strategy that we're going to share with you tonight. And this is called the BOSSXL Pit Lane Power Hour, because it's all about our BOSSXL Supercharged Sales Loop system. That's right. We have an entire system that we've been using ourselves to, again, do very well. Results not typical, okay, because we bust our butt. We're also a little crazy. We hit people with money hammers, and we have chickens and all that stuff. But we also have a system that was put in place that I introduced to Rich going back a year ago when I was doing an event in Las Vegas. It's actually a year ago next week, right, Rich, for the Super Bowl, because it was Super Bowl weekend.
It's Super Bowl weekend. It's a year since we first got our heads together properly. And that holds a little significance that weekend. If only we could think of something to do to kind of big that up a little bit. Who knows? Who knows what's going to unravel over the course of the next 60 minutes?
Who knows? But as I said, that's where we actually got to physically meet. And Rich was doing something that was working. It was working okay. All right. And essentially, he traveled over to come to this event, but also have an opportunity to not only pick my brain, but a couple of other 7-figure marketers in trying to figure out, how can I take this from this level to the next level? And we're not saying that what we have is perfect, but we're telling you it works. And it works because we approach it from an entirely different way than most people. We approach it that everyone out there is looking for a business opportunity. You're probably watching this on replay, or if you're watching it live, someone shared a link because they want you to get involved in this business opportunity. But it's really more than that. It's a complete system. And that's what Rich and I first talked about going back a year ago, because he had the original BOSSX, if you will, which he looked at as business opportunity, being the BO, and SS being the sales system, and X being exposure. Well, the truth is, most people have a business opportunity. Most people have a sales system. either their own, which very few people do, maybe a company provided one. And most people are trying to get exposure, whether they're spamming their link all over Facebook or whatever it may be, or hitting people up at the gym. That's usually what people do. And Rich, that's usually where people stop, right, my man?
Exactly. The number of people, and I was one of them for a long time. I'd been trying to make money in non-traditional ways for around 5 years and failing miserably. It's no secret that I'd made $25 online during that entire time.
It's not a secret anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Because all I'd done was the same as everybody else does. I'd joined business opportunities and I'd spammed the hell out of my link, or I'd hit up friends or family, or I was doing some network marketing and things were going all right in that as far as network marketing can do. So I was trying to push online marketing on them, getting nowhere because I had a business opportunity. And that was it. And I was fortunate, and I do consider it fortunate, that I was in the right headspace and in the right place at the right time, and I knew it. Because lots of people are in the right place at the right time, but they don't know they're there. I knew it, and I got started with a business which allowed me to start to see results. And I absorbed myself in that business model, and I learned it inside and out, and I shared it, and I earned okay. And I earned okay enough to be flagged up and come to the attention of big and partners who we were working with at the time. And so we're going back a good, yeah, it's over a year ago now. It'd be over a year, well, almost 18 months since I started that. And around a year ago or so that I were flagged up to these guys' attention. And during that time, over the course of around 3 to 4 months, I think it was, I'd started that business with zero. Started that business model with nothing, got involved in it, learned it, shared it, started to earn money and leveraged it. And I came to their attention when I'd got to around, what was it, about 23 grand's worth of earnings, something like that, wasn't it? I'd earned about 20 grand or so in 3 or 4 months. And,
and the reason you came to the attention was because you were upfront about it, Rich. Okay, but you were sharing the fact that you did what so many people complain about, is that you started from a standing start. Okay, didn't have a big list, didn't have a huge following, all right, but plugged into the things that needed to be done, and we'll talk about that tonight. But even though he plugged into that and was doing the graft, as they say, across the pond and grinding and all like that, he had done well. But the truth is, there was something missing. And then after he discovered that and implemented that entire strategy, then it was a whole different story, right, Rich?
Completely, completely. You know, I'd had this idea a long time ago of how things could work, but I'd got no way of structuring it or putting it together. And when I got the chance to go over to Vegas and spend a weekend with these guys, which was a crazy weekend, everything fell into place. And what I realized was I'd been avoiding for a long time the one thing that could have helped me move forward. And so the BOSSXL formula that I created off the back of meeting with these guys over 12 months ago was essentially taking, like Big said, that business opportunity, the BO, which we all have and have had, and plugging it into a sales system, an automated sales system, and then exposing it to a niche marketplace. And that formula was destined to do only one thing, and that's create success. And that's what took me from that zero standing start to just correcting big a little bit because of my integrity, just under 100 grand, almost 6.
Right, right. Yeah, right, exactly. And it was after that, exactly. But as I said, okay, what was missing that put you over the top, that quickly rocketed you in just a short period of time after that?
The one
that you quickly did over 6 figures.
Yeah, the one thing that I've been avoiding, traffic. And what had happened over the course of the previous, God only knows how many years, people had been saying to me, you need to get traffic to your offer. You need to get traffic to your offer. What did I think? I think they wanted money out of my pocket. I thought they literally wanted me to just hand over money to them and I was going to be spending more. And if you're anything like me, you're in business opportunities or looking for business opportunities because money is not that much of a, it's not there at the minute. And I certainly didn't want to be spending any more of it. So I avoided buying traffic for years. Once I'd put together that system and started driving traffic through it and investing in myself, investing in a business, everything changed. Everything.
And what changed is exactly what Rich talked about. And what I shared with him was the 5 things that create a real business with recurring residual income. And we'll share those in a minute. But I wanted to talk about how he went from, or how we went from, because I reached out to him again and said, I like the concept of BOSSX, but there's something missing. And I'm going to big it up, as he says, and make it even bigger with your help and with your permission by doing one thing, by adding an L on the end. So no longer is it BOSSX, it's now BOSSXL. And the L stands for the one thing that Rich touched on that people are missing when they come into a business opportunity. They take and they make a little money, and they take that money and they spend it. But they don't spend it on the thing that they need most in order to scale up that business, because the business opportunity is relatively good. The exposure they're getting is relatively good. The sales system they have is relatively good. But they take that money and they spend it, but not where they should. And Rich talked about it, and that was traffic. So I said to him, what needs to be done is a system that loops it all back into itself, hence the L. So now you have BO, which is business opportunity. You have the SS, which is the sales system. You have the X, which is the exposure, and you have the loop. But how can you loop a system back on itself if you don't know what you're looping to begin with? And so Rich asked that same question, but I don't get it. What's the loop? Because someone basically sees it, they buy it. Boom. What's the loop? And the loop, as I showed him, are the 5 things that I'm going to have him share with you, that once you understand those 5 things, you're going to understand why BOSSXL is so damn powerful. Rich, why don't you share, and then we'll get right into introducing our guest tonight, and we'll share a little bit of what we're doing with David, and we'll also share parts and pieces of the actual funnel, my man. So when I basically took the money hammer and I hit you upside the head and said, you're missing the L, what was I talking about? And what are those 5 things that people need to pay attention to if they want to create a system that's going to create recurring residual income, my man?
These 5 things I love. I adore these 5 things. And it's great that we talk about them on this Hangout, because the only other place that they're discussed is inside our closed Facebook group. So if you're not a member of that closed Facebook group yet, you need to get inside there, because things like this is golden nugget training that you can apply to any business.
And the way you do that is, we have a Facebook group, obviously, but get back to the person that shared this link with you. You're watching this video because someone either sent the link to you, shared it, or said, watch this. Get back to them. Let them get you into the Facebook group, and you'll be blown away. But you're absolutely correct. This is not something that we readily share, because this is the high octane fuel, the looking under the hood of why BOSSXL is so powerful.
Absolutely.
Those 5 things.
There's so many people who's going to be watching this who are in the network marketing space, or the online marketing space, or the blogging space, or whatever it is. But here's the 5 secrets, really, to what's required to absolutely skyrocket in the right sort of direction. So first and foremost, we've already touched on it. It's the one thing that most people avoid because they're scared, because they can't afford it, or whatever mental block they put in place, like I did for years, and that's traffic. Good quality traffic is number 1, and so we teach about that. The second thing that's needed is a funnel. And what we mean by funnel, you're going to get to see exactly what we mean in just a few minutes. But a funnel process is the same process that any business applies to their marketing. They take a way of exposing themselves to a lot of people, and they drag those people through a system, whether that be a number of different adverts, or whether it be a process online or even offline, until what they're left with is buyers. So a traffic and a funnel is your number 1 and number 2. The number 3 is really important. And this is a big thing that was missing in what I was doing pre-BOSSXL, and that's a filter. And a filter is important because you can spend, and I certainly did, a lot of time talking to the wrong people. And there's an old saying that you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, just like you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So the filter is really, really important. Almost as important as follow-up, which is your number 4. Having an automated way of following up and engaging with the people who have been exposed to what you're offering, gone through a process of understanding exactly what it is, being filtered out from the time wasters, and then you're engaging with them on a regular basis. You can see the kind of thing that's coming. The 5th is your congruent tiered products. And you'll see this in the offline world as much as you will the online world. Congruent tiered products are products that make sense together, products that work together and ultimately work up in price range. So if you think about offline, my son has just left school and he works in a sports store. So a great example would be a pair of sports socks, and then a pair of sports trainers, and and you can see the kind of the congruency. Everything makes sense, and you're ultimately getting people investing a little bit more, whether that be emotionally or financially, until ultimately you're able to generate significant income from providing significant value.
And Rich, a bigger example of that is Apple, who introduce you, okay, to the smaller, okay, iPod, which was $99, which introduces you to the iPhone, which is $300, $400, $500, which introduces you to the iPad, which introduces you to the MacBook, which introduces you to the MacBook Pro. And what they've learned is that by the person buying into that entry level and providing that service, okay, providing that group collective feel, that person then, guess what, probably buys the next upsell, all right, or the next higher product, and it goes on, and you have a customer for life. The same thing is true, all right, on how this was put together based on those 5 parameters, because there's much more to than just tiered products congruent. It's why they're congruent. Exactly. So talk about that, my man.
I call them sticky customers. You know, you hear me talking about this a lot. I love sticky customers. And so just kind of reassessing and bringing it back to you guys who are watching this. This is for...
But what do I know? I'm just a big dumb football player. Go ahead, my man.
Yeah, this is built for you guys as much as it's built for us. So what we've created is something that's going to generate you sticky customers. It's going to bring people into a low-cost front-end business opportunity. So what we're going to do is we're going to provide you with a business opportunity, which is firstly a service that everybody in the online space needs. So there's
everybody.
And that's a big deal. But the bigger deal than that is it's a $7 startup, or £5 if you're in the UK. So there are very few people who cannot scrape together £5 or $7. So there's no barriers to entry. Anybody can get started with this gig. Then what we're going to do, and this is where the tier starts to work, is we're going to expose them to a level of exposure, another higher quality traffic source that generates daily income as well, which we'll touch on a little later, that they can get started for $10. So we're taking them on a journey. Now, here's what's happening to your member, to your customer. They've bought into an idea. They've now bought into a business with you, and they've now bought into another business with you. Are they starting to stick? Are they falling in love with what you are helping them do and helping them achieve? So when you, absolutely. So when you introduce them, or should I say when your automated system, because this is all done.
I was going to say, don't scare people that they have to do everything.
Yeah. Vic talks about all the heavy lifting's done. And you look at the size of him and you can believe it. You look at the size of me and you think, what heavy lifting, you know? But genuinely, all the heavy lifting's done because this system that we've built does it for you. So they've plugged into a low-cost front-end offer. They've been exposed to a further traffic service at a slightly higher price. And then they're exposed to the actual system that they need to be able to sell it all on autopilot. And so
And not only sell it, but duplicate the entire funnel.
one of my favorite words.
Oh, absolutely. So pretty, so pretty.
So that duplicatable sales system software is $37 a month. So you've taken them on this journey. They're slightly investing at a higher level in themselves and in their businesses, which inevitably is generating new commissions, because what we don't do is expose you to business services, tools and resources that aren't going to make you any money. They've got to be quality first. They've got to provide value, but inevitably it's got to be worth your while. We don't do this just for fun. You know, as awesome as it is throwing a chicken around every Sunday evening, there's got to be more to it than just a bit of fun. So you've got people bought into an entire process, and as a result of taking that $37 sales system, which we'll show you in just a minute, they get a completely automated, duplicatable system that sells all of that for them.
Absolutely. And he ends it on that, like a cliffhanger. Absolutely. So I thought what we do here is I'm going to screen share and let us show you exactly what we're talking about, because this is a beautiful thing. And we're not going to take you through the entire funnel tonight. We're going to show you the part that is the glue, if you will, that holds all of those congruent tiered offers together, and is that duplicatable, okay, part of it that allows you. It's a tool that Rich talked about, that everyone out there, every business owner, whether you're bricks and mortar, whether you're online, whether you're network marketing, it's a tool to help you generate leads. And you generate leads by creating funnels that we talked about, sales funnels, okay, and driving traffic into those funnels to ultimately take people down the path you want them to ultimately sign up with you for your service or your product or whatever it may be. The beautiful thing about this, and why we built the entire system on it, was because the flexibility to have it appeal, okay, inside the system, but also separately. If you have other businesses that you want to promote, you learn from BOSSXL how you put it together, all the training, and that's where we're going to introduce our man, David Pinto, later, who is our certified BOSSXL coach, okay? And he's going to share his experience. He's going to show you what he does in the group and with the BOSSXLers, all right? And all of this, by the way, all the help that we give you and David gives you inside the group, free. We don't charge a monthly. We don't charge a training coaching fee or any of that type of stuff. That's the beauty of it. Can you see why people are loving this so much? But what we do teach you is exactly what Rich talked about, those 5 points. So let's go to the glue. Let me share and show you just how pretty this whole thing is, because it's one thing to be able to hit people with Money Hammer, and it's another to have it be sexy as well. So I'm screen sharing. I'm going to hide this. Let me go over. So the glue that holds it all together, the $37 a month, is called Online Sales Pro. It is basically a lead generation tool suite. It allows you to create lead capture and funnel systems to drive people to your product or service. Now, at the same time, what's also wonderful, they, like us, realize that people need to be trained on traffic, how to get it, how to leverage it. So there's all kinds of a training, not only on being an affiliate in the program itself, but customer training and training, okay, training on all kinds, okay, all kinds of different opportunities, etc., how-tos. And we look at this, you get how the OSP works, the account, all of this, mobile texting. It's absolutely phenomenal. But even better, training calls, all right? All types of things in here, from learning how to drive traffic on Facebook, how to customize swipe copy, direct response, Facebook ads, picking up the phone, sales letter. All of this is to help you drive more traffic to your offers, all right? And it comes from not only people like us, but also from people like Vince Ortega, who is a 7-figure earner, all about branding and marketing platforms, building a list, all the things, and it's all part of getting started at as low as $37 a month. But what's exciting about this is the ability to build systems like we did, and I will go through and tease you with parts of it. If you have not seen the BOSSXL Supercharged Sales Loop system, make sure you get back to that person that shared the link with you, and they can share their funnel system. And yes, they quickly and easily duplicated that entire funnel, which, as Rich said, we do all the heavy lifting and selling for you. Well, I do all the heavy lifting. Both Rich and I do the selling. Anyway, the bottom line is, if we go, you have ready-made funnels in Online Sales Pro. Maybe you already have some of these companies already. And guess what? There are templates ready to go where you just plug in your links. MCA, Easy One-Up, Digital Altitude, Reverse Commission. The list goes on and on. Maybe you're in network marketing and you're in ACN, or maybe you're in Isogenics or Janus, or any number of other VIMA, World Ventures, Traffic Authority. The list goes on and on. These are preset funnels.
Man, you sound excited.
What's that?
You sound excited.
I know. Crazy stuff. But what's even more exciting is people like us who push the envelope can go and build our entire funnel system, BOSSXL, on this. And so I'm going to share those with you right here under my pages. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. And these are examples of what are called lead capture pages. Got this good-looking guy over here grinning like a fox who ate some, some chicken eggs, because he's just absolutely killing it. And we share with you all those as well. These are lead capture pages. These are where you're going to drive people to put their email in based on features, benefits, whatever it may be. These happen to be for OSP to drive people there. This happens to be for another offer. These are all OSP that we've created. Can't you? Oh, so pretty, so pretty. But we get down, and here we go. BOSSXL, the system itself. My dogs are going crazy because my family is coming back. It's about that time for dinner, but I'm going to stay focused here. And these are all parts of the BOSSXL system where we take you step by step, starting right down here when you open up by thanking you and explaining the 5 keys that Rich talked about, 1 through 5. We explain them here because the system is all about traffic and explaining to people how you drive traffic, how you get it, how you leverage it. We go to testimonials. We basically have Rich in this step explain in further detail the whole BOSSXL system, and then we jump right into it. Step 1, we basically talk about that low ticket affiliate offer that Rich talked about, okay, being $7, fully explained here, all right? That's least ad space. When people move there, they move on to the next step. We talk about the Traffic Exchange multimedia platform. That's the $10 starting offer that Rich talked about, which is Future Ad Pro. Absolutely love that program. In fact, I've done over $105,000 in Future Ad Pro in commissions in only 9 months. And you'll see all the proof progress results inside the funnel. Nothing is left to chance. Nothing is photoshopped. We always show our back office live in the groups, in our training, all that stuff. There's a way to register for Future Ad Pro right off the back of that fully explains what it is, what you're getting involved in. We go to step 3. So as you can see here, all color coordinated right off the bat. Red for step 1, yellow or amber, as my friend Rich says across the pond, yellow, okay, for step 2, and green being the final step 3, go, which is all about Online Sales Pro, that $37 we talked about, and the ability to replicate and duplicate simply by plugging into the system with this. Watch this. This is so cool. Each of these pages we've created, we spent hours and hours creating and paying for graphics and videos and all this stuff. You can replicate once you're a member of Online Sales Pro and BOSSXL by simply taking, see that, share code. And that share code you pop into your system, and all this heavy lifting and selling that Rich and I have done is yours in the click of a button. We go further to tell you that, and we offer a couple of bonuses, which are a traffic multiplier, which people are absolutely loving. It is our own basically tier 1 solo ad traffic source, and people are eating it up. We have a waiting list now, which is great. And we go further with one last bonus offer, which Rich and I have done very well in, much more education, again, on building your business, more traffic, more heavy hitters training you, and that is this income accelerator, which we won't name here because we'll leave it as the bonus, but it is fantastic. We go into complete detail there. And all of these, as you see, these are just examples of the lead capture pages that are part of this for free. We do not charge you for any of this. Once you are a member of BOSSXL and you are a $7 member in LAS, at least a $10 member in Future Ad Pro, at least a $37 a month. Okay, hey Seth, good to see you. $37 a month member in, okay, Online Sales Pro. We do not charge for the creation of all this. We are constantly putting out new lead capture pages. We are constantly tweaking and training, and there is never a charge directly from Rich and myself. All right? If you want to get signed up, we keep saying, go back to the person that gave you the link. That is their funnel. We do all the heavy lifting and we do all the training, which will lead to the introduction of our next guest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a very strong call to action. Take the link the person gave you. Get signed up for BOSSXL. Get signed up for Least Ad Space, Future Ad Pro, and Online Sales Pro. Don't be a pussycat. Don't be a pussycat. For less than $54, you can get a complete system that is working for people that never had success before. And it's because we're focused on the one thing that most people don't focus on, okay? And that's not the money, it's the traffic. So on that note, yep. So the bottom line is, remember, we talked about it, 5 things. 1, traffic. 2, funnel, all right? 2, funnel. 3, follow-up series. We also have a fully written autoresponder follow-up series of emails for all of this for people in the BOSSXL system. 4, okay, we had the filter in there, all right? The filter basically takes people through the steps. And finally, we have those tiered congruent offers, as we talked about, that steps up step by step. And that allows for this system to be a high-octane, supercharged sales loop system that loops back on itself with its traffic. And the earnings that you gain from it go back into the traffic and allow you to, guess what, ramp up and leverage the system. And again, let us all do the heavy lifting and selling for you. So I'm going to come out of my share. I'm going to come out of my share. All right. And that's going to bring us right to, as soon as I come out of my share. All right. I'm out of share.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So that's going to bring us right into, Rich, the introduction of our special guest today, because we're excited. Now, understand, we're coming to you, showing you a system that works. It works. As I said, this entire system I was already putting in place and running and basically have done, as I said, well over $135,000, okay, using those same, okay, programs in the last 9 months. And it's simply because of the looping system. So we're going to bring out our next guest, and we're excited because we have a certified coach to help people as we grow, because we are growing. Rich, the Facebook group has gone from, man,
0.
Let's see.
Standing start, weren't it?
Standing start for that, right? We launched this Facebook group along with the BOSSXL funnel the day after Christmas, right? We made it a gift for everyone.
26th of December, and we are now on the 29th, so 33 days ago.
33 days ago, and we are now at 1,000 people in the Facebook group.
Just under, yeah, 900 and something, close enough to 1,000, yeah.
Astronomical growth.
Yes.
And part of being able to continue to provide people with training and guidance and help, all right, not only from ourselves, is someone who's taken the reins of the system, learned it inside and out, has gone through all types of training one-on-one with us, Rich and myself. Okay. What's funny is, in fact, David, who knows both of us, had a little bit of a quandary, Rich, when he first was coming to sign on to the whole BOSSXL system. He was kind of weighing, should I sign up with Big or should I sign up with Rich? So
it boiled down to who'd got the better beard. It was that tough a decision.
I think it was. And since you had the better beer, not beard, you can introduce him, my man.
Yeah, David, awesome. So this guy, David Pinto, is going to introduce himself. Let us know where you're from, David. Talk us through how this all came about. How have you ended up here working with us? Yeah, you need to
Great. Yeah, you guys can hear me.
There we go, we can.
Great. So, yeah, Big's right. I had a lot of trouble because I think I was talking to both of you at the same time, and I was so confused who to get under at that moment, but it's fine. So basically, I am from India, but I live in the Czech Republic. I moved here because of my girlfriend, and the fact of the matter is I got into the online space because of her as well, because I wanted to move here. So again, congruency. So yeah, I basically have been following this kind of business model for a while, but I did not have the right tools. So I started 5 years ago without any success for 3 years. Finally, after 3 years, I started understanding what I needed, but I never had the tools or the strategy. So I've started basically looking at everything when it comes to the business model, but the fact of the matter is I did not have the right tools. I had parts of everything, but never put together in the right way. And finally, I spoke to Rich and Big at both different times separately and had no idea that they were working together. And then finally, everything came together. So that's how I found myself here at the BOSSXL, and I have been running with it perfectly so far. I have no complaints. Okay, guys, and literally, I think that the amount of success that we've seen in 1 month is, I may not be able to pronounce it as Big tried, but astronomical.
Yeah, well, somebody's actually typed it out on live chat. They're laughing at Big's astronomical. So cheers for that. So you've been involved in various different business opportunities, and still are to an extent. But you mentioned about them not working together. Talk me through that. What do you mean?
Well, I always knew that I needed traffic.
Right.
But considering my position on where I was, because I was a student in Italy for the last 2 years before I moved to the Czech Republic, so I did not have the cash flow to invest in traffic.
Okay.
So I looked to actually finding offers that will start self-funding basically my business and getting me this cash flow. Okay. It's not that I wanted to earn from them. I actually wanted a way to spend the money to get more traffic. That was my idea right from the beginning. So I did not even think of the earning potential, even though there was an extreme earning potential, as Big already just said, but I was looking at the spending factor because I knew that if I wanted to scale it up to the level that I did, then I needed to spend a certain amount as well.
So you came to this with that mindset already? That
yes.
See, that's interesting because not many people do that, and the biggest challenge for a lot of people is that first hurdle, is that, right, don't blow this $100 or $500 on chicken, KFC, new shoes, whatever. Spend it on my business, and you were already
Rich,
done. Why was that?
Rich, you seem to have a fascination with chickens and shoes.
And KFC.
Chickens and shoes. But yeah, what was interesting in talking to David, and I'm glad he went through the whole process to be certified with BOSSXL, because he actually took the process and took it step by step and already had the mindset, David, you and I talked about this, that anything I make from this business, I'm going to put back into the business. And we talked about that most people look at that word business opportunity and look at it as the opportunity to take the money and run. When in fact, every business out there, if you look at your franchises, and we talked about this, it costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars to open up a franchise, all right? And most of those people know that they need to put that money back into the business to pay payroll, et cetera, et cetera. So why do so many people have a different approach when it comes to making money online, where as soon as they make a few bucks, they go and spend it, but not on the business? And that was refreshing in talking to David. And talk about it, David, how you plugged in from day one. I remember you kept, once you found out Rich and I were working on this together, you kept going, okay, guys, so when's it going to be released? And then, you know, talk about that and how you ran with it from day one after it was released. Because you were, as soon as the share codes were released, you were on it. And I think you got out. We joke about this, Rich, but you and I didn't even get our own funnels out there.
Yeah. David beat
before David, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, I the only thing that I was missing in the whole in all the offers, I would say, is I did not have the cash flow to actually get a marketing system of my own. That was the only piece of the puzzle that was missing. So I was not able to duplicate any success that I could get. Therefore, finally, when I did put together what we spoke about technically for the last 30 minutes, which is Online Sales Pro, I dived into it completely. I made my own funnel, really small funnels here and there, and I started promoting those funnels in itself, getting just knowing the platform, and trust me, I fell in love with it immediately.
How easy is it? Because when Big was showing it, obviously we touched a bit on what we've built for you guys, and there's a lot of heavy lifting gone into that in terms of branding and graphics and all of this sort of stuff. Of course. That's not necessary.
Rich, it has to be easy if a guy who has a pet chicken and a dumb football player can put together this type of system. The OSP platform has to be relatively easy, right, David?
Platform.
Yeah, and if you have whatever it is you're offering, it really doesn't matter. If you have a phone and you can take a video of yourself, that's all you need to create a funnel, actually. Okay, so you can just take a video of yourself talking about the product that you have to offer. It doesn't even need to be fancy or, you know, with these fancy videos, but it gets the message out there. And that's how simple it is. All you need to do is plug in. And so I started basically creating these funnels and putting them out there and getting leads into my business. And in the individual sections of BOSSXL itself. So right before the funnel was out, I was really happy that I could work the whole thing from my phone. So I put a video about that immediately in the group to tell them, guys, we can do everything from our phone, including the funnels. And right now, with the updates that they're coming, we'll be able to do much more.
Oh, yeah.
So wait. So David, what you're saying is, if you come into the BOSSXL funnel, you can also take the tools inside and sell those and use those separately at the same time you're using the BOSSXL funnel?
Yes.
Wow.
Talk about a leading question.
Definitely,
but it's so
definitely.
true. But that's what people are excited about, and why we have you as a certified coach to help people understand that ultimately BOSSXL is the not the holy grail. We're not saying it's perfect, but it pulls all those together, that whole 5 things that we talked about. But the beauty is, once you've done that, you can then become proficient at each one of those, and especially Online Sales Pro. And so if you have that online business, that offline, etc., it doesn't matter, right? What
you can go ahead and do what you're doing right now. It's not a big deal.
So David, why don't you screen share for us and show us some of the things that you've popped up to help build your personal brand as well?
Okay,
because that's one of the great things.
I'll just log into Online Sales Pro so I can show you.
I think while David's thinking about his personal brand, I maybe need to start questioning mine. You know, the keyboard capitalist. By the sounds of it, this whole keyboard thing is getting a bit outdated, isn't it? It needs to be the smartphone capitalist or something like that. Yeah?
And then the smartphone will be outdated. Absolutely. It can't be the chicken capitalist because. So what David is going to do is going to share his screen and just show you that piggybacking off of BOSSXL while he was waiting for all this, because Rich and I put over 100 hours into this, as we said. But we also explained to people like David and those early first followers, if you will, that you guys could still be selling your current programs and all, because OSP, being the glue that holds together, is a tool, service, and suite. Plug into the training about driving traffic, but unto itself, it is a lead capture and a marketing funnel builder for any offer. It doesn't matter if you're selling chickens or shoes or online digital products. Okay, it doesn't matter. Or if you're selling yourself, much like David's going to share with you, which is why he's such an integral part now of the BOSSXL Facebook group and system, in order to have people start to really understand that this is much bigger than just an offer. This is, as we talked about, a supercharged sales loop system. And inside that system, you start to learn, okay, that you can take this entire concept that we teach and train on and do it over here, and do it over here, and do it over here. So go ahead, David, share some of the things that you were doing before the funnel even launched or the system launched.
Of course, of course. Just a second, screen share.
This whole Google Hangout thing and screen sharing and the technology, it's not all it's cracked up to be, buddy, is it?
Which will lead us to our next announcement.
Yes, you can go ahead with that actually while I get set up here.
Yep, we see it. Go ahead.
Okay, so you will see big all over my pages, I guess, in Online Sales Pro, but that's fine. I'm piggybacking off of his success. But like, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. Go. You talk so that your screen can stay on. Because if we talk, then we come up.
Okay, great. So just to say, these things I've started a Facebook Live that I do daily, and I created this page right now. This is after the BOSSXL because of all the training that we do get to be congruent and actually promote myself and brand myself much more. So this is one of the things that you can do. So even if you're doing Facebook Lives or any kind of doesn't mean that you have to promote something, but if you just want to get and build a relationship with people, it's possible. Okay. So another thing that I did recently was I work as a travel consultant. So I just made a page for that. That helped me build on getting basically more people to know what I'm doing and who I am. Besides that, let me just go into the actual funnels that I've created. Now you can see, just a second. Oh yeah. So just as BOSSXL had, I had sort of created these pages. So the power of the strategy, it's not really done, but the idea was considering that I was already using the Stat Space and Future Ad Pro, and the funnel was not out, I kind of made my own, what I call it, newbie strategy to kind of help people understand how these three products go hand in hand, which is your first
Dave, and Dave, that's exactly why we took you through being the first certified coach, because having people understand the beauty of this is once you buy into BOSSXL, as we said, we don't charge you. So you're only paying what you would pay for Online Sales Pro, even without the BOSSXL group and strategy. And as you said before, you travel agent, etc. That's the beauty of this, because we're not foolish enough to think that everyone coming into this has not tried online sales before. Okay, but Online Sales Pro, being that glue that holds together, it doesn't matter what you're selling. So we're happy you share that. Now, one of the things, go back to your Facebook Live there real quick, because we're going to make an announcement here tonight, my man Rich is, because one of the things you were struggling with on the Google Hangout here is, hey, how do I click that and share that screen and all? And as Dave was talking about, Facebook is a way to have a lot of people know that you're going to be sharing some information in Facebook Live. So those have watched this before, you know, we have a love-hate relationship with Google Hangouts. My man Rich does. So absolutely. So before he basically kills his chicken out there, why don't you take, and David, thank you very much. We're going to have you come out of screen share. And that way Rich can piggyback. Awesome. Look at that. All right. And there's a reason that we're announcing this off the back of that. Rich, why don't you kind of tell everyone?
Beautiful, buddy, beautiful. So you guys, the regular viewers know, as Big mentioned, there's been some tech glitches. And Google, as big a company as they might be.
User error.
Yeah. So, like that. He says user, I say Google, same difference. Tomato, tomato. It's a very contentious thing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, what we want to do, and not just because of the tech glitches, to be fair, there's far bigger reasons for that. What we want to do is we next week go live with the new Power Hour platform. And so what we're going to be doing at the moment, you guys who are involved have an email list. You guys who are involved have social media followings, friends, connections, etc. And so you'll spend the week or a few days before or whatever it might be promoting, getting people from where they are to here. And so there's work involved in that. And people don't like change. People don't like moving outside of their normal routine. So it's effort for you guys to do it just like it is for us. And it's effort for the viewers to make that transition. What we've got is some awesome software which has been trialed out now for a little while, and so we've ironed out all of the glitches. Big's been doing some testing with that in the background. We're going to get that absolutely squared off and good to go, so that next week the Pit Lane Power Hours are no longer going to be hosted on YouTube. These are going to be hosted on Facebook Lives,
and it's a great time to do it. This is kind of our play up to it, Rich, because it marks the 1-year anniversary from when you and I first technically worked together, when you came out to the Super Bowl in Las Vegas party there, okay? And what better day to kick it off than next Sunday, which is the holiest of holy religious days throughout the world, being Super Bowl Sunday, because nothing else matters in the world except the Super Bowl when it comes to next Sunday.
What's that day again, sorry?
Maybe cricket.
The holiest of holies, but
never heard of it. Never heard.
Next Sunday, we are excited because, again, Facebook Live obviously allows us to tap into our vast social network on that platform. Okay, again, we have a love-hate relationship with Facebook also, but it does allow us to utilize software that allows us to tap in not only our connections, but the connections of all the people in BOSSXL. And when you're talking now, 1,000 will be over 1,000. I just looked now, over 1,000 people inside that group, as well as their connections. Then you're talking about more eyeballs on the offer. And ultimately, this show is about introducing people to the BOSSXL system, all right, which you will use when you become BOSSXL and you sign up and use the system. You'll leverage this show to get more people, guess what, with eyeballs on your offer. So it is the exposure loop that we talk about. We'll still take the video, download it, put it up on the YouTube channel for BOSSXL, but we are constantly looking for the main thing that we touched the show off, and that is traffic. And there is way more traffic on Facebook during live events because Facebook is making a huge push to notify people, to let them know. So we'd be foolish not to go. We like to go and play in the traffic, right, Rich?
Absolutely.
We like to go where the cars are zooming by.
You know, just to give people an idea, you know, as this show is going on, we've got guys who are watching it and they're commenting in the live chat, and that's awesome. We love some interactivity, but because of the type of platform it is, they're interacting with themselves while we're interacting on here. Whereas on Facebook, what happens is we can all interact together, but more so than that, that commentary that's going on live chat is exposed to their wider audiences. And once you start to expose on that scale, you've got a lot of eyes looking this way in. And when you consider this show is for you, not for us, that's a massive, massive deal. Once you're involved in this, you think all you're getting involved in is a sales funnel system. You know, you think that BOSSXL is just a sales system. Once you've created it, you've got your link, and yes, people will sign up. Or people.
Oh, no, Rich, it's way more than that, because we have swag.
Oh,
we have swag. I mean, you know you're next level when you have swag.
I promise you, I was not even going to touch on the swag because we were keeping that secret. What I was going to talk about was we've got the system, we've got the funnel, but you've got these gigs, these events, you've got the training, you've got the Facebook group. There's so much freaking exposure. It's unbelievable. And then we've got some swag.
Swag. All about the swag. You know it's next level when you offer swag to people. But the truth is, because BOSSXL is so powerful as a system, why not wear it on your chest? Why not wear it on your head? Because the truth is, it benefits you. As we say, the system is put together to benefit you. So if you're watching this and you want to get connected in a group that is all about training people to have success, okay, not by blowing smoke up their butts, but by explaining to them that the most important thing is to focus on traffic first. And you have not only myself and Rich, who co-created it and put together the entire system, but a certified coach in David Pinto, who explained to you, all right, that he went ahead and popped open the hood and already started to get in there and tinker around before the system even went online. All right, there's beauty in that, but he also will show you that he's starting to have results from a standing start in the other programs, as he talked about. And that's the great thing. The other great thing is we've got most of the time zones now covered. Me being in the US, my man Rich being in the UK, David being where he is. I can't keep track of it. Now he's no longer in Italy, he's now in the Czech. Okay, so we've got pretty much it covered. And as we move along, there'll be more member coaches also announced, so that ultimately we'll have in the vicinity of around 8 to 10 member coaches who are always going to be there to help you find success. Now, we're not promising, okay, that you're going to be able to duplicate our results, okay, because results not typical. Rich and I are top 3 to 1%. All right, it all depends on the effort you put in, revenues, all that type of thing. There's so many different parameters, but we will tell you, and David can back me up here because he's in the group on a regular basis helping people. Results come in many ways. And why don't you share, David, some of the recent feedback you've been getting on results, not only from yourself, but also what you're seeing from other people as they're posting the results.
I think the main thing is that it takes time, but at the same time you start with a bang. So just get in the gate, start the ignition, and start driving. That's the whole thing, you know. Because if you don't, it just becomes this whole thing of, yeah, you're procrastinating. So don't. At this point of time, the only issue is that you're going to get the support. You're going to get people who actually care about you, okay, and care about your success. And the simple thing, now, if I'm not mistaken, his name is John, okay, and I'm just giving him a shout out here because he actually put somebody to through to the Pitlane Power Hour, and yeah, they signed up. Okay, so that's as simple as that. All you need to do is create a page, send it to your list, or put it somewhere out, and that's it. When people actually see the value, so they're never left alone. He did not even talk to them, and they're never left alone. Okay, so you will always get that support.
Absolutely. So, Rich, take us out, my man. We have spent another hour. We appreciate all of you for dialing in with us. As we said, if you got here, you're watching this on replay, someone shared the link with you, make sure you get back to that person. If not, get into the group and find that person. If you're watching it live, someone felt strong enough to get you on this call, and that is because they want you to take advantage of the system also. In the end, in the end, what we have put together is pretty fantastic, and we're always looking at improving it. In fact, version 2.0 will be coming out in a number of months, but right now, it's a pretty damn powerful system. Am I right, Rich?
Absolutely, my man, absolutely. And we've got great feedback coming through on live chat. In fact, there's two really important questions that I do want to put out there just before we wrap it up. It might just be down to a translation thing, you know, this one side of the pond versus the other. One of the questions is, what's swag? And the other question is, what's the Super Bowl?
Well, the two go hand in hand, because if you don't know what swag is, you damn sure don't know what Super Bowl is. But swag very simply is shirts and hats and things like that, so you can show off. It's a way to brand. Like, again, when people wear Nike or they love Apple, et cetera, but so that's swag. It came out a few years ago in what they call it. It has something to do with the giveaway, something giveaway. But the Super Bowl, again, it's sacrilegious that you don't know what that is. Just kidding. I know it's all in jest, and we appreciate that. So on that note, David, my man, we appreciate you being on. David will be a regular part of the Facebook Live version of the Pit Lane Power Hour starting next Sunday. And obviously, Rich and myself are always going to be there. On that note, it's your boy Big, our special guest, David. My man, the chicken capitalist, no more, is Rich Green. And we will see you on next week's show. And if not, we definitely better see you in the Facebook group for the BOSSXL Supercharged Sales Loop System. It's been our pleasure to have you for this last hour, and we'll catch you on the flip side of success. Take care, everyone.
See you later, guys. Have a good evening.